Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, UTR presents Boom Goes the Dynamite. What's going on, folks? It's me, your boy, Kendrade Okada. It looks like I might be doing a solo session today, but that's all right because I know y'all are here with me, keeping the same vibes, keeping the same energy. So let's do what we came here to do and talk about some wrestling. First things first, folks. Before we even get on to what's coming on tonight, Batty, we might, Batty, we might. But you know how everybody does. Sometimes they'll hop on a little bit in a few, but if not, guess what? It's all right. Y'all are here with me. I'm here to talk shit with y'all. That's what we gonna do. We gonna vibe out. Now, before we get into what's going on tonight with wrestling, as we all know, it's Wednesday. Hence the name of the show. Boom Goes the Dynamite. Wednesday is usually AEW. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about what happened last night, real quick, on NXT. Now, of course, we had another matchup for the Dusty Cup tournament. We had Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, respectively known as the Wolf Dogs, according to my man Braun Breaker. Funny as shit. Funny as hell. Going up against Axiom and Nathan Frazer. Now, you and I both know Braun and Corbin were going to win this. There was absolutely no way Axiom and Nathan had a chance. But I will say they did make the match a lot more interesting than what I thought they would. Listen, you might as well market it. It makes sense. You might as well market it and come out with it. Wolf Dogs, like, it makes sense. You might as well market it and go with it. Axiom and Nathan Frazier, how can I say this? If they had better personalities, they would be much bigger stars. Two excellent, excellent wrestlers within the ring, doing all the high flying, doing everything that you want from a wrestler their size, just that their mic skills are. Well, Axiom, we know his thing is Matt has said it on numerous occasions. Just go back to being a kid and take off that damn mask like that, please. Just go back to being a kid instead of being this damn Marvel comic book character Axiom that you are. Go back to a kid. People know who that person is. People like that name. People so just do that. Nathan, just get some work in. Get some work in on that mic. Go, go in the mirror. Say your promos in the mirror until it sounds good to yourself. That's the best advice that I can give you, brother. Because, like I said, in ring wise, those two brothers can actually go. On the mic, mm, but as I stated, Braun and Corbin, of course, won, so they advanced to the finals of the Dusty Cup Classic. During the matchup, though, Braun hit a. I mean, those are okay. Those are okay, but overall, he has pretty much no pizzazz. He has pretty much no pizzazz to him to me. Well, to me, like I said, to me. Um, During the matchup though, Braun hit a sick ass cutter. A sick cutter. It looked like he was going for a belly to back, and he turned it into a cutter. And just like a Steiner, like Mongo pointed out in the chat, a Steiner will get hyped that they hit a sick ass move. And sure enough, Braun hit that shit and was like, ooh, hyped himself up. Can't be mad at it. It was a dope ass move. So, like I said, once again, you get Braun and Baron. That shit is so weird. Like, you get tongue tied saying that shit together. Yeah, you know what? We all gonna call them wolf dogs. Let's just leave it at that. We gonna call their asses wolf dogs. All right. The wolf dogs definitely get their win. Something that we were expecting. After that, we had the last legend. Hi Lash. Hi Lash. How are you? I hope you're watching. My name is Kenny, by the way. Nice to meet you. Last Legend versus Ren Sinclair. First of all, when Ren Sinclair walked in, the first thing that I thought was, when the fuck did WWE get Sonya from Mortal Kombat? That's the first thing that popped in my head when I saw her. But Last Legend, of course, comes out with the victory. Of course, Metaphor was there to back her up. Can't beat that. After that, we get an all-out war. We're supposed to have a matchup between Dijak and Joe Gacy. Oh, 500%. 500% cookies. Braun legit does shit just to see if he can. And 95% of the time, he actually can do the shit. So it looks even cool. I'm not going to lie. It's always going to look cool when you see a dude Braun size hit a move that you would expect a cruiserweight to do. Yes, my season brother. It looks like I am doing a solo show today. Oh, listen, I got enough personality to do a show. Don't worry, I'm here. But like I said, we wound up with an all-out. But going back to your comment about Braun, Braun is it's always fantastic when you can see a guy that size pull off a cruiserweight move. That was one of the things that made Bam Bam Bigelow so special when he was able to, do his cartwheels and stuff like that. We made Vader special when he was able to come off the rope with his Vader bomb. Anytime you can get what make Braun Strowman so special with him being able to run at 900 miles an hour and run people over. Anytime you get a big man doing something that a cruiserweight can do, it's always going to get a pop and a reaction from the crowd because you're not expecting it. Plain and simple. So, like you said, Braun really does. Oh, don't worry. That's cooking. It's coming. Yes. I was getting ready to mention Brock too. Brock is a freak in nature. Brock is an absolute freak in nature. And I know a lot of people don't like Brock, but guess what? Brock is also one of my favorites. I love Brock. I love somebody that's just gonna come in there, whip ass, and that's it. Plain and simple. Speaking of whipping ass, getting to this third matchup was supposed to be Dijak versus Joe Gacy. All hell breaks out. These boys have a complete ass brawl. Complete ass brawl. Gacy, Dijak does his cyclone kick, kicks Gacy through the goddamn NXT sign. Everybody thinking it's over. What happens? Gacy creepy ass starts smiling. Comes from out the thing, jumps on his back. Gacy is 500% 730, and I love it. Right now, Braun may have the best spear. You know what? Anyone who has ever played football and comes into wrestling and does the spear usually has it down pat. Roman spear was dirty. Even though I even though I hate Goldberg spear is dirty. But Braun definitely. Braun is Braun spear is definitely an illegal tackle right now in the NFL because Braun leaps into it. So in the NFL, he definitely has an illegal tackle right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gacy definitely went on work. Yeah. Cool. Your man jumped on Dijak's back and was trying to choke the life out of him. It took, first off, the two security guards that they had try to break him up in the beginning. Like, come on, two security guards. You think you're really gonna hold Dijak? Dijak put their asses down, thinking that it was over. Then Gacy decided he was going to attack some more. Gacy was like a rabid dog yesterday. Every time Dijak thought he was going to be able to get away, Gacy came back biting his ankles. Pretty much. That's pretty much the best way to put it. Biting his ankles. And you know what? I was actually talking with Mongo and the rest of the guys yesterday before the podcast, and we was like, Gacy was always a favorite for myself and Matt. We were like, this guy could be something big, and we were disappointed in the road that his character turned down. has turned down, especially since his group disbanded. Speaking of his group, one member of his group did something really big yesterday that we're going to talk about in about 2 seconds. Gacy had no direction. At one point, he was the weird guy in the audience saying hi, the Vic Joseph and stuff like that. And it was like, I'm so disappointed because I personally, like I've said numerous times on the show, I personally had hopes that Gacy would be pretty much the new version of Bray. The way he had the following, the way he was talking, it was pretty much all leading up to him being that creepy, mystical type person. And then it just went to shit. Grizzly Young Vets left. Ava did her own thing. He had nobody backing him up. So then he was lost for a while, hiding out in the crowd, just looking like a weirdo. But this feud with Dijak, if this is going to be what Gacy is like going forward, just a madman, I'm 100% back on the Gacy train. 100% back on the Gacy train. Like for, I am for it. Let Gacy go crazy, and you got yourself a fan once again. Next, we had a crazy ass vignette from Vaughn Wagner and Robert Stone. They had Vaughn pretty much going through his old college football routine workout. Had him looking like the water boy out there. I and this is all in preparation for Vaughn taking on Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. I'm gonna be honest. We The Heritage Cup is made for Noam Dar, but if they want to make that championship relevant or that trophy relevant, they're gonna have to start hot potatoing it. They're gonna have to give it to Vaughn, whether we like it or not. They're gonna have to. Then they're gonna have to give it to somebody else. The problem is, at least that we've spoken on many times, is that a lot of these champions now are holding on to titles and stuff a little too long. Some of these things need to be hot potato. Heritage Cup, one of them. The World Championship with Seth, that's another one. Like it does need to be, moved around. Yes, it was. And the sad part about it is Reggie will never know what was said because unfortunately Bray isn't here. It was Vaughn Wagner going through that damn training. It was hilarious. Hilarious. Next matchup we had Lexus King, aka Brian Pillman Jr. versus Trey Bearhill. Bearhill, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not going over that match. Lexus won. Let Vaughn pressing the kid over his head. It literally reminded me of the Water Boy when they cut that scene when they said Michigan tried out their towel boy and he went across the middle and got flipped. That's what that reminded me of when Vaughn had that little kid over his head. I was like, okay, Vaughn Vaughn Wagner getting his brain stomped in by Braun Breaker gave Vaughn Wagner personality and stuff that the fans can get behind. Like they are definitely getting behind it. Next up, we had pretty much damn near a cat fight. Supernova Sessions, of course, that's Noam Dar and Metaphor. That's their um little talk session. They had Lola Vice on there, and while she was on there, Electra Lopez comes out and cuts her little promo. Now, I'm gonna be 500% honest. I am tired of the direction that promos are going now. Listen, even if you are gay, Lola and Electra Lopez, even if you are gay, that'll make your ass straight for the night, brother. I'll tell you that right now. Lola and Electra will make you straight for the night, even if you are, brother. There's nothing wrong with you going, damn, them women is bad. Because yes, they are. Um, the direction that promos are going now, thanks to CM Punk and his pipe bomb, every promo right now has to have some type of reality in it, something that's going on. And the reason why I bring that up is Lola Vice's promo when she was talking, she kept her promo to within character. um Electra Lopez saw that I won this bracket, so that I won this contract. She wanted to hop on the bandwagon because she hasn't been, talked about in a while ever since, Legato's been done. I won this, I won that, I won this. She's sticking to her wrestling story, her wrestling script. Electra comes in, and what does she mention? I wasn't shaking my ass on Instagram. That's how you got here. Who cares if she was shaking her ass on Instagram? I'm really tired of every promo having to have some sort of reality in it. Guess what, folks? At the end of the day, wrestling is fantasy, which is why we watch it to escape reality so that way we can have something, a form of entertainment. If the purpose of wrestling is to escape reality for entertainment, why are you bringing so much reality into it? Now, I'm not saying I want to go back to the 80s and early 90s where the promos were just people talking craziness, but stick to the feud. Stick to the feud. Like, talk about the actual feud. I maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I like when wrestling was kayfabe. I like kayfabe wrestling, if that makes sense. I like the fact that there are characters, there are gimmicks, there are stories. I like that. Not everything has to be reality, 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 reality. We have enough of that. We have a whole station of that. It's called MTV. They don't even show music anymore. Only shows reality TV. Like, I want my wrestling to be about wrestling. If you catch my drift, like maybe it's just the old man in me. You can tell I'm old by my gray, but mm, they yes and no. Now I do know Lola has a social media account for her personal and a social media account for you know her wrestling. That's perfectly fine. That's that's actually what I would like a lot of wrestlers to do. Make your personal one yourself, make it private and locked. Only a few people can have it, and then have one as your wrestling personality. So that way the fans and stuff can engage in that. You know what I mean? Everything is being blended a little too much. And it's like, can we get back to being wrestling? Can we get back to being wrestling? That's just me. Um, except we had a little Chase U promo where my boys in Chase U is down bad, y'all. They down bad. They came and snatched up everything. They took my man Andre Chase's podium. And my man flipped the fuck out. Don't touch my fucking podium. I love Andre Chase. And I love when he flips the hell out. They took the banners off the wall. But what got them is when they took Duke's trophy. Duke was not expecting that. And now your man Duke is at a loss because that trophy was everything to him. So hopefully, Chase U can get back on track, or at least we can see more of Andre Chase down and out cursing people out. That's always a great thing to see. No, like I said, if you have one for your character, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. My thing is, I don't want to see. I don't always want your private life in with my wrestling. Like I said, I enjoy wrestling as a fantasy, as an escape from reality. There's no way in hell I'm walking down my street and seeing a 6'5" fucking Samoan jumping off with a goddamn six train. But guess what? Wrestling, I get to see a 6'5" Samoan jumping off of something. I like my wrestling to stay fantasy. I don't need everything to be reality. If you have an IG with you regarding your wrestling, then you know what? I got no problem with that because then you're staying within your character. You can lock your private one and have your private. You can push the one that's push the IG or social media that's related to your character. Like I said, everything doesn't have to be reality based, especially when you're dealing with a fantasy programming. Right. Duke was tore up that he lost that goddamn trophy. After the Chase U vignette, we got a match that we all thought Dragon Lee was gonna lose. Dragon Lee versus Scripps with OTM. Now, prior to this match, OTM went into Tony D'Angelo family's establishment, roughed up the people inside there. So of course, you know Tony D and the crew was looking for revenge. We all thought, all of us here in the podcast, we all thought Dragon Lee was going to lose because we're like, shit, Scripps is trying to make a name for herself. Of course, they're going to let Scripps win. Tony D comes in, makes the save to get rid of OTM. Dragon Lee scoops up the victory. Can't beat that. Next matchup, we have Blair Davenport versus Carmen Petrovic. Hard hitting match. Blair Davenport is a beast. Hard hitting match. Ends with Blair Davenport winning. Now, one thing that does happen on NXT, we see the resurgence of a very, and Carmen kicked the out of her. And then that's where Blair did that goddamn stomp on almost the back of her neck from off the second rope because of that shit. But during NXT, we saw the resurgence of a very familiar face that NXT has been missing for quite a while. The return of one Lord William Regal. Everyone is hyped. William Regal comes backstage and lets all of us, including Shawn Michaels, know the new general manager of NXT is Ava? Yes, the same Ava that I was referring to that used to be with Joe Gacy is now the GM for NXT, making her the youngest GM in WWE history. Ava becomes the GM the same day that it's announced The Rock is now on the board of directors. The same day that it's announced that The Rock now has ownership of his full name. You are 500% right. Nepotism, Ava. Her damn yep, you 100% right. My, it is so sad because, like I said, Ava was not good in the ring. She was so not good in the ring that she blew out her knees before her ass even got in the ring. Like that's the reason it took us so long to see her on television is because she blew out her knees before she even got a chance to be on TV. She spent 2 years injured. That should have said something. That should have said something. And because she can't wrestle that well, y'all then make her the GM. HB Sizzle, we usually trust your judgment, and so far you've been rocking and rolling. This ain't it though, Papa. This ain't it. This ain't it. Like something gotta give, Papa. Like we can't have Ava out here running shit. I'm sorry. Nah. She ain't no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Please. Please, 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 please. No, 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 no. And finally, in our last matchup of NXT, we had Trick Williams. Whoop that trick, huh? Whoop that trick. Yeah. Listen, if you don't like Trick's intro with Booker T doing the ad libs, don't watch this podcast. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because we are all fans of that shit. Whoop that trick. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Booker's ad libs help that damn song so much. Like it has to it has to go down every time it's played. We got Trick Williams versus the new and improved Josh Briggs. The reason why I say new and improved, if you remember last week, Josh Briggs had a run in with JBL, and JBL pretty much told Josh Briggs, "You're pretty much a baby version of me. Start acting like it." And guess what? Briggs is definitely acting like it. Oh, listen, definitely. Booker is definitely the. There's a lot of people that don't like him on commentary because they find him annoying. I find Booker absolutely hilarious. I find Booker absolutely hilarious. Booker gives that spin. Booker honestly says a lot of the shit that most of us is thinking. Like when he first started NXT and they were debuting all the new stars that they have now, showing up for matches and stuff. Booker legit was saying what we were feeling. Who the hell is this? Are they any good? I don't know. They're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to see. Book and I appreciated Booker for doing that. I appreciated the shit out of Booker doing that. Yo, that was still hilarious. That what Reggie's referred to as last week when Mello and Trick teamed up together. They started off with Trick's theme song. And right when Book was getting ready to hit his ad libs, they switched over to Mello and Book legit went, "Oh man." Book was legit pissed off that they had to put Trick's music. He was so mad they put Trick's music back on just so he can do his spot. Yo, I love it. Right. You always know when Book is tired of the bullshit. Because Book is gonna keep it a whole hundred. He's gonna keep it a whole hundred. At the end of the day, what a lot of people don't realize is if WWE decides to say, you know what, Book, thank you for your time. We've enjoyed you or whatever the case may be, he's gonna go back to reality of wrestling, which he still runs and owns. He's so this NXT commentary is just something extra. Book be giving Victor the legit like, and it's the best. So we got Trick Williams versus the new Josh Briggs. Good ass match. Josh is definitely coming into his own as a singles competitor. Of course, Trick gets the victory. During the process, we get a little altercation with Mello, Dragonoff, and then after Trick beats Josh Briggs pretty much hits Trick with one of the meanest clotheslines from hell that we've seen in a while. But hit him with one of the meanest clotheslines from hell that we've seen in a while. And before the show goes off, you see Mello once again putting into Trick's ear, this is all Dragunov. You're fighting his battles. Look at you. You know what I mean? Like he wants you to be not at 100%. He picked Vengeance Day because he knew that you would have to wrestle. Everything that Trick is saying is pointing towards Dragunov, and of course, we all know Mello's gonna probably be the one. It's gonna be concealed that Mello. We all know that. But me and Mongo were talking, and if this whole thing was actually Dragunov, I'm actually for it. It's not a bad thing. Dragunov has the same quality that I felt Nakamura has. Even as a heel, certain word plays and certain actions that they, even as a face, I'm sorry, certain word plays and certain actions that they do can be interpreted as heelish, which is why it was so easy from Nakamura to transition from face Nakamura to the current heel Nakamura that he is. Because he really isn't doing anything different with his character. Just a lot of the stuff that he was saying before just now has a little more behind it. You know what I mean? So Dragunov being a heel would make absolute perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. Yes, he does. NXT definitely has a lot of young talent that will be more than capable to step up and take over once this group has graduated and passed on. One of the one of the talents that doesn't get enough recognition, but they should because of the way that they put a match on last week. Malik Blade and Inofi. Those two brothers, if they stick to what they're doing, they could run the tag team division within a year. They definitely could. Yeah, and he definitely a diehard villain. Definitely part of Hans's crew. 500%. 500%. Like Dragunov, like I said, things that he says and does, yes, he's being a face, but just a slight switch in tone can make that one thing that he's saying as a face be a hit. And it's literally he's almost heelish in his face ways. The way that he tells people, I respect you, but you're never gonna get this. This is mine. I work too hard. You're not good enough for it. He's pretty much saying heel shit to them, but they respect him, so it's like a face. Yeah, he really could be. He really could be pulling strings. And if it was him, it makes total sense and it works. It works. If it was him, it makes total sense and it works. The only thing that I'm hoping though, that if it is him, that they don't leave the story with him and Trick alone and just have Trick and Mello just be a permanent tag team. And I want them to kind of finish this story and to leave Trick and Mello separate. Like leave them together but separate. It's working. Don't mess that up. It's working. Um and as far as NXT, that was NXT for last night. Very, you know what? And his yeah, and you can still have Trick. Right. You definitely can. You want to know what? I was making a complaint about how we don't have enough wrestling on Raw. NXT proved my point again. NXT had 7 matches last night in a 2-hour show. Let's say not even full 2 hours, because of course we have to count commercials and stuff like that. Let's say it was a hour and 15-minute show. They had 7 matches. Raw, you had 6 out of a 3-hour show. Got to do better. Got to do better. Yes, that's exactly what they need. That's exactly what they need. They need the only thing about, you know what? The only thing that I'm worried about with putting Trick on SmackDown is you have Bobby Lashley and the Profits on SmackDown. And I can 500% see them sticking Mello with the other black guys in the group. That's the only issue I have with him going to SmackDown. I feel that if he's on Raw, he may have a chance to have more of a singles career to put himself on the map without being lumped together with the black guys. Because on SmackDown, I feel that they definitely would do that, lump him with the other black guy. You know what I mean? On Raw, I think the only black guys on Raw might be New Day, and they ain't letting in no new members. So like New Day and R-Truth are like the only black guys on Monday night, and neither group that those guys are letting the new members. So Melo could definitely shine on his own, but with Bobby Lashley and Montez on SmackDown, and the fact that they have similar styles with being like showboats, I can see them automatically throwing Melo with that group. And then what's gonna happen? He's gonna get lost in the space. Like that's that's my only fear of them putting Melo on SmackDown. That could happen, you know. But NXT 2-hour show gave us probably some of the, as Matt said, probably some of the best wrestling that we're gonna get all week. Let's be realistic. Let's get the elephant out in the room. Traditionally, from the beginning, wrestling was a redneck sport. It was for the down south rednecks and stuff like that. It was a predominantly white sport. Wrestling since the beginning has always had stereotypical gimmicks, stereotypical people in it. Like it's always been that way. And unfortunately, it's breaking out of that mold, but it still has some of those like influences from the beginning of time, like how it just happens. Like I'm 42 years old. At 42 years old, right now, this is the most people of color that I have ever seen within professional wrestling. And I'm excited that we even have that. Whether they're black, whether they're Spanish, whether they're Asian, just people of color finally making a breakthrough in wrestling, finally getting the platform that they want to be on and stuff like that. It's it's great. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that we get that. You know, it's going to take a while for all of the stereotypes and all of the racism to pretty much be gone, but yeah, Mongo ass sent the picture in the goddamn news chat. Mongo, I know your ass is backstage, so why don't you just put it on up? Why don't you just put it on up? Pretty much. You're 100% right, Reggie. Which is why JYD used to be lent out to so many different territories because they were like, oh, we didn't have that. We don't have that guy. Give us JYD. Give us Tony Atlas. Like, you're 100% right. So It was not an important piece of news, Mongo. God damn it! It was a weird ass picture, a very weird picture, something that I don't ever want to see again. So, and that would be my main problem with Melo going to SmackDown. Hopefully, it doesn't happen that way when he does go to SmackDown. Hopefully, it's just pretty much Melo being Melo, but I can 500% see them putting another brother with the other brothers group. So it's almost this is what Mongo sent in the chat. God damn it! I said I didn't want to see this shit. Like yeah. This is what Mongo sent in the chat. Terrible, terrible. And no, folks, we will not be putting that shit back up. Not one bit. Now let's talk about yeah, yeah. That was all Mongo. Now, folks, let's talk about why we're here tonight. The wrestling that's coming on tonight. Tonight, AEW has a pretty good card going on tonight. We have Wardlow versus Trent Beretta. That should be a damn good match. Thunder Rosa versus Red Velvet. I don't even want to know, Cookies. I don't even want to know. We have Thunder Rosa versus Red Velvet. Now, we here on the podcast, we're Red Velvet fans. We're Red Velvet fans. Thunder Rosa, 50-50 on Thunder Rosa. 50-50. Not even 50-50. 50-50. All right. We'll hear from Sting and Darby Allin. All right. We also get a match for the AEW World Trios Championship. We have the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. We have the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. It's the fact that you said that and then I'm reading the name Daddy Ass goes together so perfect. Goes together so perfect. Red Velvet has definitely improved, especially considering the fact that one of her first matches was against Jade to where she is now. She has 500% improved. 500% improved. So we have the Acclaim and Daddy Ass versus the Mogul Embassy for the AEW World Championship. World Trios Championship. Another banger of a match that might steal the show. Cero Nero, my boy Penta El Zero Nero versus Hangman Adam Page. This should be a good match that may steal a show. Next matchup we have lined up for tonight is going to be Jeff Hardy versus Swerve when I drive it. Swerve when I drive. Swerve Strickland. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, she is. And in your main event, two old heads going at it. No, for real. Old heads. Two old dudes fighting. Minoru Suzuki versus Adam Copeland. Yep, folks. Crazy ass Suzuki versus Adam Copeland. Of course, Adam Copeland is going to win, but I got a feeling he might come out with an injury out of this win because Suzuki is crazy old dude with old man strength. So yeah, I'm expecting Copeland to win, but definitely coming out with an injury after this because why not? That's what's supposed to happen when you fight Suzuki. You're supposed to be hurt and battered. Listen, with those two old dudes on it, the first one to get an ingrown toe nail is going to be out. Okay, with those two old dudes, they ain't even gonna wait to pop their hip. First person to hit their pinky toe is gonna say, "Fight over." I don't even want no more of this. No mas. No mas. Well, folks, I think in this 47 minutes of y'all seeing my face and hearing me talk, I think that we have covered just about everything that we need to cover as far as wrestling for tonight and what happened yesterday. Don't forget, folks, you can always, always, always follow us at facebook.com/under the ring pod and twitch.tv/under the ring pod. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow we will be at our normal time, which will be Thursday. So 8:45-ish, 9-ish, heavy on the ish. We will be on our normal time on Thursdays tomorrow. All right. So don't expect to see my pretty face at 6 or 6:15. We're going back to the old way tomorrow. All right. Don't forget you can also follow us at Linktree/under the ring pod. There you'll find the man behind the boards, the man, the myth, the legend, Greg Bush SK. You'll find me, Rock Ribs 44. You'll find Mike, Mr. Fresh Beard. You'll find our boy, the man with the beard in his hand, the right answer. Our street team captain, Boriel Maliente. And of course, our local correspondent, Justin D. Bagsley. Thank you. Yes, your journey back to the championship begins tomorrow, Reggie. Folks, if you're watching, if you join us tomorrow, we will be doing our Royal Rumble predictions. Right now, our boy Jersey George is the chat predictions champion, and Mongo is the actual podcast predictions champion. If you want to join us and see if you can strip Jersey George from his title, please, when we're doing the picks, be on the show, give us your picks, and we'll put you down. We got it's definitely a heated race going on in that chat for the title. 500% right with you. Fuck them both. 500% right. It ain't your time, Cookies. It ain't your time. The same way it ain't my time. I think you better do what I did, what I'm about to do. Like I said, this will be my last prediction until WrestleMania. Win, lose, or draw. I'm not predicting no more until WrestleMania after this one. I'm tired of losing, damn it. I am tired of the losing. Well, folks, once again, thank you for joining us. Here we go. Hey, here we go. Oh my gosh. And on that note, we're out of here, folks. Say it one time. Frank Thomas.